Passion is one of the biggest disguises for bad speaking that I see. But then equally, there are plenty of people with great messages who don't get airtime because they don't speak with passion. So of course, what are we looking for? We want that Goldilocks spot. We want that Goldilocks spot where you have great content to deliver and you're able to bring it to life in the way that you deliver it. And in this video, we're going to outline how do you do that? How do you take the great content, which I know you have, and how do you speak with passion to bring it to life and get the airtime that that content deserves? In my new book, The Speaker Shanty, the main character Stephen meets a series of performers who teach him different key principles about public speaking. And one of these characters that he meets is Captain Jack Chung. And Jack Chung teaches Stephen all about how to speak with passion. And you can learn Jack Chung's lessons by reading the book yourself. What I want to do in this video is I want to add some extra lessons on top of this so you can speak with even more passion than you already do. The first principle of speaking with passion is a lesson that I learned from my mentor, Brendan Burchard. Brendan says, if you're happy, don't forget to tell your face. When we're talking about speaking about passion, you'll hear people say, I'm excited to share for you today. I am so passionate about this project. And you look at them and you go, are you? Because they might be excited and they might be passionate, but they forgot to tell their face. When people are on stage as inexperienced speakers, they'll often freeze up and become a little less expressive in their emotions, and this can really play out on the face. So what you've got to make sure of is if you're wanting to speak with passion and you're wanting to express that passion in your speech, you have to remember for your expressiveness to come through. Don't forget to tell your face. If you're talking about how excited you are about something, how enthusiastic you are about something, people should be able to see that on your face. And I bet they see it in your private conversations that you have. Are they seeing it in your public conversations you're having on stage? If you want to speak with passion, don't forget to tell your face. The second principle for speaking with passion is to share your hobbies and interests in your speeches. You might be blessed to be speaking on a topic you are super engaged, super passionate about. You absolutely love the topic matter. Great. That's a rarity. And honestly, even if you're super passionate about topic matter, there's still some areas which you're not as excited about, you're not as thrilled about. But for many of us when we're speaking on topics where we're not so passionate about them. Maybe you're speaking for your company or an organization that there's parts of your work that you enjoy, but equally there's parts not so much. So how do you bring that passion into your speech throughout the speech for the parts you enjoy and the parts you don't enjoy as well? Well, a great way to do this is to introduce hobbies and interests. So when you are talking about a concept, when you're sharing an experience, bring some of your own personal flavor into this. This is the reason why you can actually see in my backdrop that I have here, one of the things that I do is I have some of my hobbies and interests here. I have my hiking map right here. I have my Star Wars memorabilia scattered around. You can see some of my hobbies and interests even if I'm not necessarily talking about them. So that is a deliberate design choice for the backdrop you see right now. And certainly if you've watched enough of my videos, you'll know that the odd Star Wars reference gets thrown in. So this is what you want to think about in terms of, well, how do I inject passion into my speech? Well, the easiest way to do that is speak about things you're naturally already passionate about. Get used to that feeling of talking about your favorite sport. Get used to that feeling of talking about that niche hobby that really lights you up. If you're able to bring these into your speeches and bring them in a way that's related and topical, first of all, you're going to be injecting passion into those parts of the speech. Second of all, you're going to be practicing the art of delivering passionately. And thirdly, that's what makes you stand out. Because it doesn't matter what topic you're speaking on, there is no novel topic. What you're saying is basically the same as a lot of other people are saying out there. So how do you stand out? It's not about the topic matter that you're sharing. It's about how you share. It's what's your personal flavor, what's your personal twist on what you're sharing. And bringing in some aspects of your personal life, bringing in those hobbies and interests is a key way to make yourself stand out. Speaking with passion is easier when you're actually passionate about something. So bring what you're actually passionate into your speeches as much as you possibly can, because then you won't be thinking about, well, how do I inject and generate this passion into here? The passion will be naturally flowing already. I've got one more principle about speaking with passion to share with you, but just before I do, I'll tell you a little bit more about this book that I was waving around earlier. As I described, this is a book where the main character meets a series of performers who teach him different public speaking lessons. Lessons that you can take on in your speaking journey as well. The Speaker Shanty is available on Amazon right now in all formats. The paperback is $10. It's going to cost you about $5 to ship to you depending on where you are. So all in all, we're looking at a $15 book. You can go onto Amazon, go get it right now. But there's more than one place to get this, because I also have a deluxe edition of the book. And in this deluxe edition of the book, you get all of the formats, the ebook, the paperback, and the audiobook. And on top of this, you get some online bonuses. You get access to my online course, Superhero Speaker. So Superhero Speaker is a 5-week program. It's a series of live workshops that I did. You get the recordings, and these teach you all about how to unlock your speaking superpowers and have a greater impact with your speeches. Normally, this course costs $147. You get Superhero Speaker thrown in for free with the deluxe edition. So what is the deluxe edition? The deluxe edition is $15. So you can go and buy the paperback off Amazon right now for $15, or you can get the deluxe edition, all the formats, plus the online material for the same price. No brainer, right? To get your deluxe edition of the book, click the link in the video description below and you can take the same speaking journey that the main character Stephen does in this book. Now I've got one more principle to share with you on how to speak with passion. The third principle for speaking with passion is focus. I see plenty of speakers who are very passionate about what they're sharing, but the issue is that their passion is unfocused. They go off topic, they don't explain concepts clearly enough, they go over time when they're on stage, and this lack of focus costs you. It's fine to be passionate and expressive about what you're talking about, but you also have to be professional. You also have to think about, I'm not just here at a party where I get to gab off to friends or family endlessly, unfocused in a disjointed way. You've got to think about, well, how do I channel and focus that passion in a professional speech, in a professional environment? You've got to think about, well, what are the key concepts? How do I explain them clearly? How do I keep to time? You've got to focus that passion. It's got to be directed. So when you are covering the content of that speech, yes, I want you to be fired up. Yes, I want you to deliver enthusiastically. Yes, I want you to be interactive and engaging with the audience. But you've got to keep that focused. If you're just spitballing and gabbing away, you're not a professional speaker. You're just another dude at the bar. You're just another person who gets a bee in their bonnet about something, or they're very excited about something and just word vomits at you. You are not a word vomiter, you are a speaker. And you need to have that focus and that refinement to make your impact with your speeches. Because passion by itself does not equal impact. Yes, it's a really important part of how you bring your speech together, how you bring that speech to life. But if it's not used carefully, it's working against you and not for you. I want you to be passionate on stage, but I don't want you to be passionate at all costs. I don't want you to have that unfocused passion. I don't want you to have that unclear passion, because the very best speakers know how to take their emotion, take their professionalism, and meet them in that middle, in that perfect Goldilocks spot that we talked about earlier. So get on your golden hair, eat some porridge, find the right bed, because you are a Goldilocks of speaking.